I'll tell you guys a little bit of personal financial conundrum I have. Um, my wife has a lot of debt, and since we're a couple now, I'm supposed to help her with that debt. It's our debt. I shouldn't say she has debt. It's our debt, whatever, but you still get the idea. If it was my debt, I'd treat it differently than if it's our debt. To pay off somebody else's debt, even though I'm now partially responsible, um, I'm feeling a little more reluctant to pay in such a way that, for example, I'm no longer investing in the stock market monthly. I don't feel comfortable with that. Um, if it were my debt, I would immediately stop paying my stock market stuff monthly and go all in to try to pay down that debt immediately. But since it's somebody else's debt and they may take on more debt, that could defeat my morale. If I stop investing in the stock market, go all in to pay off her debt, and then she just takes out more debt. But even if she didn't do that, it's still demoralizing not to have any money going into the stock market because I did a lot of research to even know how to invest in the stock market and feel good about that. And it feels good for me to put money into the stock market. And I want to continue to do that. So I was just feeling a little guilty and unsure if I should put all my stock market contributions into paying off her debt. But I'm leaning toward plus I'm also saving cash. Like cash for car repair, cash for buying our first home, cash for vacations, holidays, gift giving, a new computer, etc. So I have a lot of cash savings goals, which are all going into individual accounts every month, and I have set up automated contributions to that. But I was just contemplating whether I should no longer automatically dump a certain amount of money into my stock market fund each month since my wife has debt. And as a team, the faster I help her pay off the debt with my help, the more she'll feel that I'm being a team player, and the more encouraged she'll be as far as the get out of debt race goes. If she feels that I'm not making a good faith effort to get us out of debt, then she might start shopping more and be a little less aggressive on paying down her debt because she feels I'm not paying it down with her as much as I could. So there's that to consider. But I just can't see completely stopping investing in the stock market. I love the idea of investing. See, I already feel I'm investing kind of low. I mean, kind of late. The best thing you can do is start investing in the stock market in like your preteens because the way compounding interest works, you make way more if you invest earlier in your life. So that's why I really hate the idea of just throwing away all my money at debt. Because think of it this way also. If I throw all my money at debt and I don't invest in the stock market, that's money in the stock market we're not going to have in 10 years. And that could have grown a lot during that 10 years as well. But you could say, well, we got out of debt quicker. Yeah. But now both of us have no debt. What's she going to be doing with her money? Is she going to be helping me aggressively get into the stock market? No. She's probably going to get a nicer car because she has no debt. So she'll start spending her money on stuff. Nicer car. All right, now let's go get our house. Let's move out of your dad's basement. I'm going to start getting some nicer clothes. I'm sick of all these crappy clothes. I'm going to start going out to eat a couple nights a week. That's where the money's really going to end up. So the longer we're in debt and she's paying most of it, at least her money's going to something worthwhile, which is getting out of debt. And by me getting us out of debt quicker, that's going to reduce the timeline to her blowing her money on dumb stuff. So I might as well put that money into the stock market because that'll benefit us, I think, longer. To keep her money tied up with her debt longer is better, and keep my money going towards smart investments. So I guess from that point of view, I mean, in an ideal world, as soon as we're out of debt, she's going to put all of her money with mine into investments. But that's not going to happen because she doesn't have the financial discipline I have, and she's not willing to sacrifice material things in exchange for financial security and long-term well-being. I mean, my stocks are like 13% return annually, but that's because we're in a bubble. Eventually, we'll hit a huge recession, at which point I want to buy as much as I can because the price will be cheaper. The stock market is risky if you're investing in individual stocks. It's not risky if you're buying and holding in index funds. There's absolutely zero risk there unless if there's a complete global economic collapse that never recovers, which sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous. So, yes, there is no risk in that unless if you're approaching retirement and you can't weather a 10-year recession that just took your retirement savings of $1 million down to 350 grand for 10 years before it rebounds back up to 1.2 million. If you think you're going to need that money in a 10-year horizon, then even index funds would be too risky for you. You should have a higher percentage going to CDs and bonds. My wife has student loan debt, um, car payments for her, car payments for her mother, because she signed on with her siblings to buy their mom a new car years back. So they're still paying that down. She also threw down to buy her family's house all new windows. So she's still paying that. And then she's got private and federal student loan debt. The only debt I have is a loan from my dad, a personal loan, that's interest free. And he's not really being pushy about getting it back. He said, I mean, he doesn't really care. So I'm just trying to contribute to that monthly, little by little, and then just pay him back in one lump sum in like 10 years from now, or actually probably sooner than 10 years from now. Once we get more out of debt, and once my income goes up, which it's continuing to go up, I'll start to be able to sock more money into that payback dad fund, and it will get eliminated really quick. Once, like I said, once we're getting close to being out of debt and I'm making more. Her loans do have interest, but that interest doesn't affect me, it affects her, because I've structured it as she's still responsible for her own loans, and she still has her own finances separate from mine, and I'm just going to contribute a good faith level of contribution to help her. I did originally say I'd pay half of all of her debts when we get married, but I'm kind of backing out of that now because she makes more than me, so it's like, how can I pay half? I can't match her payments. That's not even possible. So she understands that. Yeah, so I'm just kind of juggling with this idea of investing as much as I can into getting out of debt in order to encourage my wife and instill in her a team spirit. Like, man, my husband really does care. He's paying my debts off. He's teaming up with me. I feel encouraged. And I'm going to do my best, since he's doing his best, to manage my money responsibly. But on the other hand, I don't want to stop saving cash or investing in the stock market. So I have to find the right balance. And I just kind of am wrestling with what that balance is. Because at some point, if any major crisis happened, and I already spent all of my money over the years on paying off her debt, and then she like divorces me, or one of us gets hospitalized or something crazy happens, we don't have much cash or health insurance because I already gave all my money into her old debts that she got before marrying me. That seems kind of stupid. I would rather have more cash or liquid money. Like stocks are still cash because you can sell them overnight.